Buenos días. Es el viernes. Son las 12. Hello, everyone. It's Friday. It's 12 o'clock, so it's time for Community Spanish, broadcasting every Wednesday and Friday at 12. In addition, we've got lots of other live programming going on. In addition to Spanish, we have French, we have Mandarin, we have Portuguese on our Instagram, so there's lots of things to be watching each week, broadcasting live. A couple of quick reminders before we get into today's video. One of them is that it is a holiday weekend coming up, so Rola will be closed from January 15th through 18th for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I just wanted to remind that we will not be operating and there wouldn't be any live videos during this period. And then also the other reminder I'd like to give is that the February class schedule is now posted. So if you're interested in getting into a class for the next month, you can see all of the options up on our website. In addition, on our website, you can find a video library of all of the previous Community Spanish lessons that we've done. There's tons and tons of videos up there, and also for all of our other live video programming. So you can find the Mandarin videos, you can find French videos. So there's lots of content to check out on our website. Without further ado, I'm going to get into the topic of today's video, continuing our review of Presente Progresivo, which in our past video, we did a review of the AR verbs, and today we're going to take a look at some ER and IR verbs. Still practicing with Presente Progresivo and putting together all of our knowledge in terms of combining vocabulary, combining sentence structure, prepositions, all these good things to make sure that we really learned these concepts well and are able to put everything together when we're trying to speak. So, as always, I'd like you to participate as much as you'd like. And so while I walk through the exercise, I welcome you to put your own answers in the comments below, whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube. So, por favor, escribe tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo, and let's get started. So we're going to be practicing with the presente progresivo for ER and IR verbs here. So that's mostly what we're going to be focusing on. So we have to, essentially our job on this exercise is to conjugate the verb to go with our, the person that we have indicated in our sentence. So, número uno, veo Agustina, and this is a good opportunity for me to highlight that when we're using presente progresivo, we're going to be doing a form of estar that goes with this person, and then followed by the present participle, or it's the verb ending either in ando if it's an AR verb, or yendo if it's an ER/IR verb. And so if this is a completely new topic to you, as I mentioned at the start, this is a review video. So if this is a completely new topic for you, I would welcome you to go to our Facebook page, the Facebook live page of our website, and you can check out the original video I made to teach this concept from the beginning before maybe you come back here and revisit us for the review once you're ready. So, but otherwise, we're going to proceed ahead with the review for those of you who are already familiar with this topic. So we have Agustina. So Agustina is going to be like saying ella. So we know that we have to take the form of estar that goes with ella. In this case would be está. Again, hopefully this is all review for you and it is kind of helping you put the elements together. So we're going to use está. And then for our presente, our participio presente, we have our infinitive, which as I mentioned, we're going to be ending with an yendo sound to go with this, this form. So for example, we have to choose the right verb that makes sense with carne con ensalada, which is meat with salad. So think about what verb of our options above makes the most sense. It's going to be comer, right? Comer, to eat. So now we have to change comer to be in the present participle form. So as I said, we're going to take off that ER and add the ending yendo. So we have all together, Agustina está comiendo carne con ensalada. So por favor, repite conmigo. Agustina está comiendo carne con ensalada. Muy bien. That repetition really helps you to not only internalize this answer, the content, but also to help work on your pronunciation. So on to número dos, ustedes, and then so the form of estar going with ustedes, if you keep in mind that verb chart of, you know, they have the visual in front of you of what the different conjugations of estar are. Ustedes is in the same group as ellos and ellas. So we're going to use the conjugation están. So ustedes están, and then again, we have to choose the right verb that makes sense to go with the end of the sentence, which is su nueva casa. Okay. So let's see, what makes sense with su nueva casa, your new house? Perhaps conocer, like you're getting to know your new house. But I think there's maybe a little bit of room for interpretation, or maybe we're talking about going up the new house. Like if we're in a an elevator or going on the stairs, maybe that's the most the logical response. So ustedes están. So we're going to use the verb subir, and so the ending is going to be, as we practiced the last one, subiendo. So taking that IR off, adding the iendo. Ustedes están subiendo su nueva casa. Ustedes están subiendo su nueva casa. Okay, número tres. Yo, so now we're on to the yo form. And so we're going, the form of estar that goes with yo is estoy, yo estoy. And then let's see what verb makes sense in this context. So again, we're at the end of our sentence vocab, las respuestas del examen, the test answers. So let's see what makes sense in this context between escribir, comer, conocer, aprender, and subir. So probably in this case, we're going to be using escribir, like they're writing the answers to the test at this moment. So we're going to use escribir and make it form into that participio presente. So escribir becomes escribiendo. So todo junto, all together. Yo estoy escribiendo las respuestas del examen. Muy bien. So this is like saying I am writing the test answers. Número 4. Tú, so now we're going into the tú form. So if you again remember that verb chart in your head, tú is going to go with estás. And then let's see the end of our sentence in order to determine what's the best verb to fit in this blank. So tú, and then the ending is a conducir, which is to drive. So again, if we think about our options here, escribir, comer, conocer, aprender, subir, aprender is going to make the most sense. You're learning to drive. So tú estás. So we have aprender. We're going to transform it in the participio presente. So aprender becomes aprendiendo. A repetir todo junto. So now to say it all together, tú estás aprendiendo a conducir. You are learning to drive. Tú estás aprendiendo a conducir. Okay, on to número 5. We're halfway there. Número 5, ellos. Okay, and as we said when we practice with ustedes, do we know the form of estar going with ellos is going to be están. Ellos están. And so now let's look at the end of the sentence to help us get some context on what verb we should choose. So we have las escaleras para llegar al ático. Las escaleras para llegar al ático. So escaleras, stairs. Okay, so this is kind of one of our words that should help us really figure out what's the right verb here. And that's going to be subir, right? Because we're going to go up the stairs. So ustedes, ellos están. So we have to take the verb subir, change it in participio presente, and we get subiendo. A repetir todo junto. Ellos están subiendo las escaleras para llegar al ático. They are going up the stairs to arrive in the attic. Okay, already more than halfway there. On to número 6. Número 6, blank. But we do have the guiding yo there in parentheses. So blank. So we know we're going to start with estoy, like we do for yo, estoy. And then let's see if we can figure out what verb fits best in this blank. So we have una carta al gobierno. Una carta is a letter. So again, that word should help trigger us to know that the verb we want to use in this one is going to be escribir, to write. So again, back to our blank. So we already have estoy. Now we have the verb escribir, and we need to transform it into the participio presente. So we take off those last two letters, IR, and add yendo, and we get estoy escribiendo. Estoy escribiendo una carta al gobierno. I am writing a letter to the government. Okay, número 7. Diego, so that's like saying él, he, Diego. And so we know that if it's él or he, so él, ella, usted are all going to share the same form, which is está. Diego está. And then let's see if we can figure out what the verb based on the context at the end of the sentence. A su hijo recién nacido. A su hijo recién nacido. Okay, so hijo is our keyword here, is son. A recién nacido is basically like a newborn, just born. So you think about what makes sense in terms of those verbs we had above between escribir, comer, definitely not comer, conocer, aprender, subir. This is a person, so we're probably going to choose conocer. Like he's getting to know his newborn. So Diego está, and so we're going to work with the verb conocer. We need to transform that in the participo presente. So conocer, take off those last two letters, add yendo ending. So altogether we get Diego está conociendo a su hijo recién nacido. Diego está conociendo a su hijo recién nacido. So Diego is getting to know his newborn son. Muy bien. Okay, we have three more to go. Número 8, nosotras. Okay, this is our first nosotras or nosotros. So we know the form, again, if we visualize that verb chart, for those of you who are visual learners, we have estamos going with nosotros for the form of estar. And then we have to figure out what is the verb to go in the blank based on the rest of the context. Un hermoso nuevo idioma, a beautiful new language. So again, what makes sense in that context? It would be aprender, right? We're learning a new beautiful language. So working with aprender, we have to change this one. So aprender into aprendiendo. So all together, todo junto, nosotras estamos aprendiendo un hermoso nuevo idioma. Okay, two more to go. Número 9, Sofía y José. Sofía y José. So Sofía and José make together ellos, like saying ellos, they. So given that it's ellos, ellas, ustedes all share the same form of estar, which is going to be están. Están. Okay, and then let's figure out what is the right verb to go in this context. The part at the end is en el nuevo restaurante, in the new restaurant. And we think about what are people usually doing in a restaurant? It's going to be comer, okay, comer. So ellos, Sofía y José, están, and comer, going to transform into comiendo. So Sofía y José están comiendo en el nuevo restaurante. Están comiendo en el nuevo restaurante. Okay, excelente. On to last one, número 10. Back to tú, and just like we did in, I think it was número 4, we're going to choose the form estás to go with tú. So tú estás. And then we have to figure out what's the right verb to go in this context. And here we have a really key vocabulary word, la montaña rusa, which literally translated means a Russian mountain, but actually what it really means is a roller coaster. So we think, again, what makes sense based on those verbs about a roller coaster, and that's going to be the verb subir. So you're going up in the roller coaster. So tú estás. And then, so the form of subir going to be changed from subir into subiendo as we make it into the participio presente. So all together, we have tú estás subiendo a la montaña rusa. Tú estás subiendo a la montaña rusa. Muy bien. Okay, so that wraps up our little review of the Presente Progresivo with ER and IR verbs. Hope you found that helpful. And if you weren't tuning into the last video, please feel free to revisit our video on AR verbs. You can find that video. It's going to be posted on the Rola Languages website on the Facebook Live page, where you can find these most recent videos, but also all the videos we've made in these past approximately 10 months. So there's a lot of content up there. It's all free. We're very happy to share it. So you're welcome to share the page or share this Facebook event with anyone who you think might be interested. I'll be back on Wednesday at 12 for Community Spanish starting next week. Hope you have a great long holiday weekend. Gracias y adiós.